Alright, time to unload. So what do I need? Yes. This one. This little thing. Then this huge one. Oh, heavy box. This beauty. Yes. Ho. And another beauty. I mean, yeah. What else? Yeah. Some storage and RGB. And RAM. That comes with the RGB. Then more RGB. Oh boy. Yes. Then fans. Oh, damn, these boxes are heavy. Yes, this one needs some juice. Oh, heavy. Oh boy. Oh. Okay. And yeah, some cables. And that's it for now. Okay, and the last thing we need is a case, which is this one, the Phanteks P500A. So we're ready for a new build. Yeah, so hyped. Damn, look at all these beautiful components. Let's go! Before we get to building, let's have a quick look at the components we're gonna use. Our first entry in the build is our CPU. The CPU is an AMD Ryzen 5 5600X. It comes in at $300 MSRP or 320 euros with VAT included. I bought it at 285 euros, so it's a bit lower than MSRP, but more priced than the previous Ryzen 3600 at launch. Anyway, some quick specs about the CPU. It has 6 cores, 12 threads, and features a base clock of 3.7 GHz with a 4.6 GHz boost clock. To this day there's still no 5600, so a non-X version of the CPU, which does surprise me. I was hoping for AMD to release like a non-X version by this time, but with the release of 12th gen Alder Lake from Intel, AMD already announced their upcoming CPUs, so we might never see a 5600 ever. Our next component is the motherboard we're going to use. I've picked the ASRock B550M Pro, which was priced at 94 euros. It's a micro ATX size motherboard and has a white and black accent, which is a perfect match for this build. The motherboard supports Ryzen 3000, 4000 and 5000 series, has an 8 power phase design, and has 4 DDR4 DIMM slots which can support high-speed RAM, with a total of 128 GB. Next to that, it also has 2 M.2 slots for SSDs, one of them has Gen 4 and the other one has Gen 3. Last but not least, it also has 3 PCIe slots, one on Gen 4 with 16 lanes for the GPU and the other 2 got 3rd gen with 1 and 16 lanes respectively. Then for storage, I'll be using the Samsung 980 NVMe SSD, which can provide read speeds of 3.5 GB per second and a write speed of 3 GB per second. This is plenty for an OS drive and can even provide a partition for games or other data. I've picked this up during Black Friday for a whopping 69 euros, which is a steal as the normal price is around 110 euros. Our 4 RAM modules are provided by Corsair, which has a size of 32 GB in total, and each model has a speed of 3200 MHz. They are the Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro SL, which has a white color and obviously some nice looking RGB on the top. To cool our CPU, we've got the Cooler Master MasterLiquid ML240L version 2 RGB. Okay, that's quite a name. It's an AIO. This cooler is very capable for the 5600X, as the CPU doesn't get that hot. So, but all in all, it was priced for 55 euros or 54. And I'm sure a 30 euro air cooler could suffice too, but I've picked this obviously for the looks and the white color. Talking about looks, we're replacing the AIO fans with 2 of these. The Corsair QL120 RGB. This kit comes with 3 120mm fans and a lighting node core. The fans have 34 LEDs in each of them across 4 light loops, 2 on each side, and per side there's 1 inner and outer loop. Their fan speed can go up to 1500 RPM with a max sound level of 26 decibels. Our last component, we shall end with a bang. Our masterpiece, our GPU, the reference AMD 6700 XT. This card is perfect for 1440p with 144 refresh rate and even ultra wide. I went through hell with this to get one of these, as you might know, like everyone else. But yeah, I got lucky and I grabbed one for MSRP around 520 euros. The 6700 XT is a dual slot card with 12 GB of RAM. It has 3 display ports and 1 HDMI output, and the GPU needs power from a 6+8 pin power connector. The rest of the parts aren't that impressive like the GPU, but they are important in some way. The build will be powered by the Cooler Master MWE Gold, a 650 watt unit, which is a fully modular PCU. To mount our GPU vertically in the case, I'll be using the rizer cable of Cooler Master. Furthermore, we'll be using white extension cables from Cablemod. This is the Pro ModMesh cable extension kit. The very last part is the Corsair LS100 kit for my ultra wide monitor. This is just plain an RGB thing, but I'm very curious how it will look like. Okay, enough talk. Let's start with the build. Woo! Okay, hold the phone. We have a small issue. So this is the bracket from Phanteks to mount your GPU vertically, and this is the riser cable, right? Yes. This is from Cooler Master, and this is from Phanteks. Guess what happens? They don't match. You have these two holes, this one and this one, and these two holes from the riser cable. This one and here under. Yeah, they don't match, so they don't line up, which is 8. There only can be one lined up, and it's probably gonna be the closest one. So yeah, that's a bummer. I hope this doesn't break anything, but yeah, this sucks. It probably has to... I should have gotten the Phanteks riser cable and not the Cooler Master, I guess. That would be the fix. Okay, quick update. This is how it currently looks like. Not bad, not bad. I'm very happy this is coming all together. The only thing that needs to be done is the back of the case, of course, the cable management, and setting up the Corsair fans and the RGB fans here at the front. Only that has to be connected, and also from the AIO, the RGB cable. So only RGB cables and Corsair also with RGB cables, power cables from fans, and cable management, and then we're done. Yeah, okay, be right back. So this is the result about the cable management. It's okay, I think, except for the bottom part, which is stuffed with the power cables from the PCU. And we're lucky I don't have hard drives, else it would be more chaotic down there. We've got our RGB hub here, it's just hanging around with the 3 fans, Corsair fans, RGB cables. Those are here, 2 at the top and 1 at the back. And the power cables, we're actually using the DeepCool fan hub with 4 ports. 3 ports are taken by the front fans, the included Phanteks fans from the case, and then one of them is taken by a Corsair fan. So yeah, I'm actually quite happy about the hub, because it's so tiny. I mean, I never thought it would be so tiny. I mean, it makes sense, it's tiny because it only has 4 ports. But yeah, it's a nice little thing, and it's cheaper than buying splitter cables, I'm sure. This is a package. It's a little box. Like, damn. Yeah, very happy about this one. So yeah, the RGB hub, I don't mind it just hanging there. I mean, it's not gonna break if it's falling. So yeah, this is the cable management. On the other side of the case, so the better looking side, we've got not that many cables. The only visible are these at the top from the AIO, so the RGB cable and a power cable, which is connected here. And then this power cable from a fan, I forgot to cut this off. I don't know. It's a label from Corsair. Yeah, that's a bit visible, so I'll do that off camera, cutting it off. For the rest, it's quite good. We have these cables at the bottom, but that gets hidden by the GPU thanks to the vertically mounted way. Yeah, quite good. I do have some feedback about the case. It's a nice case for sure, but these sliders, I'm not a fan of it. It's useful. I mean, it's very easy to use. You just slide back and forth, but yeah, I'm not really a fan. It's just, and imagine though the color would be white. That would be much better also. But yeah, the sliding thing, I'm not a fan of it. Especially there's no space for, a lot of cables need to go through the top, which makes it difficult to slide it to the left anyway, but also to the right, because the cable fans, if you can see it, nope, it's too dark, they go here, through here, to the back. So these 3 fans go through these holes, and you can't slide them much more to the right. So like this one, the second one, is really stuck. You can't, it's impossible to have cables through here. So yeah. Same with the USB 3 cable. This is very tight, and even in all honestly, I think I even fucked the port of it. Yeah, it's too loose. It's, yeah, I don't trust it. I think it's broken, but I'll test it later. Also the back here, so these thumb screws, these are nice, good thumb screws, but you need space. We need space to turn it, you know. Phanteks, please. I can't. My thumb, or either my fingers are too fat. I don't know. But there's just no space to turn them. To turn the thumb screws. Same with these on the side. It's just, yeah. That's the only criticism I have about the case. For the rest, it's a perfect case. The color, the quality, the side panel, and at the back there, it's just a breeze too. There's so much space. So yeah. One more thing about this hole for the GPU cables. It's perfect, and I wanted this all the time. I mean, in all my cases before, but it's too direct under the GPU, so the cables are like, yeah, going in a weird curve under, I don't know. It should be, the hole should be pushed a bit backwards, so then it will be a nice curve go under. But yeah, now it's with this problem with the riser cable and the Phanteks bracket, so it still sucks. I mean, this is the biggest disappointment about this build, is that the back of the thing isn't screwed in, because the holes don't line up. But so because of this, it's not straight, you know, the GPU. Also thanks to the cables going the hole under the GPU, it's also moving. You can't move it back, because, yeah. Okay, it's time for the first boot, the big moment. Will it boot or not? Let's find out. And we'll also see the RGB for the first time. So yeah, it's connected to that monitor over there with the keyboard. If it boots, we can go into the BIOS. And okay, yeah, let's find out. Oh wow. Okay, holy that's a lot of RGB. I never seen that before. Damn, that's damn pretty. But now, will we have video output? It doesn't look like it. Did we fuck up? I have one assumption, and I'll probably have to test it out. So the motherboard has PCIe 4 expansion slots, which the riser cable is connected to, but the riser cable only supports Gen 3. So what if we move the GPU directly in the motherboard, and I'm probably thinking we have to set something in the BIOS to tell the motherboard to use Gen 3 instead of Gen 4. Let's quickly find out. BRB. Okay, riser cable is out, GPU is directly in. Let's have a second attempt. Some red LEDs on the motherboard, they're gone, and we have, yes, it booted. Nice. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, so we know it's about the riser cable, and I'm probably sure we need to set the BIOS, in the BIOS, the PCI version to Gen 3. So let's do that, and then put it back to the vertical mount. Okay, so we're in the BIOS now. Let's have a quick check if everything is okay. We got the 1.7 version of the BIOS. We'll probably update that later after this, because I think I've seen there's already a version 2.2 with support for Windows 11, and we'll install Windows 11, so yeah, better update the BIOS before doing that. We have our RAM, which looks fine. We got 4 DDR4 sticks, 8 GB, 32 GB in total. That looks fine. The speed will change after updating the BIOS. Now we only need to find the setting for the PCI version. This will be somewhere. CPU config, probably not. Nope. PCI normally, no. Resizable bar. This will be PBS. Yes, here. PCI X16 bus interface, auto. So we'll set that to Gen 3 and then restart. And before restarting, we'll, change back the GPU to the vertical mount and see if it boots again. So okay, save changes and exit. Okay, so our GPU is back into the vertical mount. So let's see if after changing the setting in the BIOS, will it boot or not? And I'm sure it will, but let's see. Okay, that looks promising. Monitor still standby and it's on. Okay, we have video output. Nice! So changing the setting in the BIOS fixed this issue, which was, I mean, it does make sense, but yeah. Now the next step is to update the BIOS version and also change other settings in the BIOS according our system, like the XMP, the fan profiles, and so on. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we're back into the BIOS. We're on the tool tab, and there's a USB connected with the updated BIOS. So let's instant flash this one. We're going to version 2.2. So I'll just select that. Okay, and it's done. Reboot. And we have no... Oh yeah. Well, time to change the BIOS setting back to Gen 3. Okay, we're back booting up with the GPU directly into the motherboard. I assume that setting got reset by updating it. Alright, we have video output good. And we're on the version 2.2. Nice. Okay, so that's successfully updated. Let's go over all the settings now that we would need to change. We have our processor, the 5600X, that looks of course good. The RAM speed first, so we're going to XMP, load the profile, good. What else do we have here? Nothing here, nothing overclock. We're not going to overclock the CPU. CPU configuration, this is set enabled by default with the BIOS update. The TPM switch, because Windows 11 needs that. PCIe config, nothing here. We should be able to enable resizable bar, because we have AMD GPU and AMD CPU. I mean Ryzen 5000. Please go to boot page to disable CSM. What is CSM? Let's first change back to Gen 3. RAID mode, nothing. RGB LED should be on. LED mode rainbow. Well, we'll change RGB stuff software wise. Okay, that's good. We have our temperatures. CPU 50 degrees idle. Excuse me? That doesn't look right. Oh, now it's going lower. Okay, CPU fan 2 is our AIO, so we need to change fan config. So here CPU fan 2 is the pump, so we're changing to the pump. Control mode is auto, full speed is just, let's change it to standard. With monitoring the CPU, looks fine. Now our other fans, our AIO fans is CPU fan 1 and the DeepCool. Well, CPU fan 1 can monitor CPU. Also standard. PMW. Then all our front fans and one of the Corsair fans are connected to the DeepCool hub, the fan hub, and that fan hub is connected to what connector? I forgot. Chassis fan, oh yeah, fan 4. You can see, so this is the pump. It's changed also to water pump speed instead of fan speed. That's okay. Chassis fan for pump is chassis fan 4, right? Silent mode. It's PMW mode. Fan 4 is also standard and monitor. Yeah, I don't think. Let's just monitor the motherboard and then it should be fine. Then that should be it in terms of fan configuration. Okay, so we have, okay, idle temperature 37 degrees. That looks better. I think we even can change the AIO config to silent. Silent. Oh, I forgot. I changed the wrong one. Okay. Oh, it stopped pumping. So now the pump isn't even working because the temperature is low enough. Yeah, that works fine for me. It will hit back, if it's hit 50 degrees it will probably jump back in. Yep, there it is. Okay, right. Enough about fans. I think this is all correctly set up. We don't need to change anything in security, and boot options is fine. Yeah. Okay, let's save and exit. And it restarted, so okay, everything looks good now. RAM speed changed, that's good. Everything is saved. Yep. Okay. We're done here. Our BIOS is 100% set up. The next step is installing Windows 11. I do not have connection with internet. What do you expect me to do, Windows? So we'll probably have to do a workaround. There you go. And then we execute task kill slash f for force slash im oobe network connection flow.exe. Boom. And then we press Alt F4 and then we're back. Alright, so everything is installed. The build is done, yeah, I can't believe it. So iCUE is installed, the drivers for AMD are installed, the ASRock RGB tool is also installed for these fans and the LED strip. And yeah, it's damn beautiful. So I want to thank you all for watching. Leave a like. And yeah, maybe subscribe. I'll appreciate it a lot. Bye. Oh yeah, almost forgot about this.